Activation code required. Access granted. Warning. Evacuation sequence activated.
We're back. Welcome to the bunker.
And welcome to the S-4 Bunker, coming to you live up here in the Cascade Mountains here in Concrete, Washington, as we talk about everything under the sun that's, well, unknown. You know, like, aliens and UFOs and Men in Black and Black-Eyed Children and...
You pretty much just named all aliens, dude.
Bigfoot.
Elon.
There you go. There you go.
Ewoks.
Elon.
Yeah, Ewoks here once in a while. And, of course, your hauntings and everything else. Well, hell, everything else. So tonight we are actually talking about the Men in Black, and is there a connection to Black-Eyed Children, Hat Man? Is it government? Is it aliens? Who knows? So, how are we all doing tonight?
Excellent.
Doing great. Doing great.
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
Fabtabulous.
And we're still missing Nikki. Nikki's...
She's taking care of a situation. Don't worry about it.
Yep. She'll
She's
be here
doing
shortly.
her thing.
And how about them Reapers? Cole?
What about the Reapers?
Friend, well,
Don't fear them.
You want to start with that, eh?
Hey,
Friend,
don't fear
I don't have anything
the
pulled up.
Reaper.
Talk about something else.
Oh.
Talk about something else. I don't have anything pulled
we're
up right
talking
now.
about something else. Okay.
We're
So,
moving from the Reaper.
Men in Black.
What
Do you
about
guys think the movie Men in Black had any perception to reality?
No.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yes, what Joe said.
What?
Yeah.
So would I. Yeah.
I don't think so.
No?
Not at all.
You don't think there's little guys that police up, kind of like customs with aliens?
I gotta be honest, I don't think anything Will Smith did was great. But...
Well,
Well, you know
He's
what
pretty good at hitting people.
But you
Yeah,
know what I
that's
like
true.
about it? I like about how they kind of show celebrities might do. I mean, y'all hear the conspiracy theories and all the bullshit about,
Okay, Michael Jackson was just a terrible person. He was not an alien. I can tell you that
Right.
for sure.
are we sure Tom Cruise isn't some kind of
no,
lizard?
God.
Yes, he is a Scientologist.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is something, all right, but I don't think alien fits that bill.
But basically just a cultist and not like some foreign beast.
Now, there is alien ties with Scientology. They do believe in aliens.
Yeah. As much as the Mormons do.
Well, yeah, they believe there's alien races up there, and in some cases, they believe the aliens are coming down here.
Yeah, but in
Yep.
the same ties, almost every religion believes in some form of alien race. Whether it be
Christianity does not, and correct me
Christianity
if I'm
does
wrong.
too.
No.
Well,
I can
actually,
no,
they
I can
just
tell you for
don't-
sure.
They just
I
don't
don't-
call them aliens.
I can
Well,
tell you for sure.
I don't count Ezekiel's wheel as, because when you ask a Christian,
Okay, because I grew up very, very Christian.
so did I.
Okay, like ridiculously devout Christian.
So did I.
Okay, and
I
I
was-
can tell you
Why the hell
that.
did you point at me when you said Christian?
No, Catholic. I wanted to hear the Catholic
No,
perspective.
I can tell you that for
Other than-
sure.
Okay,
that-
we'll get to you. Go ahead.
That they had brought up everything from giants to leviathans to everything
But they never
else.
called them extraterrestrial.
They did
never
not
called
call them
aliens.
ETs, but it didn't mean they were of this world.
So,
There was
It's
never a
just like-
differentiation of that.
Here's what-
it's just like
No, go
when
ahead.
they say the difference between UFO and UAP.
No.
There is no difference.
Well, no, I get
It's
that.
just a new word.
But growing
Just
up,
because they didn't call them aliens, they said, "Oh, they're angels or they're people from above."
I wasn't
They
even
basically weren't from here.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
but
even-
hold
what do you
on.
have?
All that.
The absence of proof is not proof.
But
That's some ancient aliens bullshit.
Oh, God.
Okay? Fuck that shit. Just because they didn't say they were all Babe Ruth's children doesn't mean they weren't Babe Ruth's children. Come on!
So here's the thing, though.
I'm Babe Ruth's
So
child.
I grew
Babe
up.
Ruth had a lot of children.
I grew
I'm
up.
pretty sure
on-
they'll
and
buy
a
us one
sexy
of them.
candy bar.
I grew up on the extreme evangelical side. So do I speak for all evangelicals as far as me growing up? Absolutely not. But you look at Jerry Falwell, you look at Jimmy Swaggart,
Right.
you look at all those
Right.
big fundamentalists. You talk about UFOs, they're demons.
Now,
that's what we were always
As
told,
I was brought up, I was brought up Baptist.
right?
Okay? And I fucking went to Bible camp and all kinds of shit when I was a kid because my parents thought it was the best route. But,
One time at Bible camp,
yeah, exactly.
I went to
Let
Bible
me tell you, there were no
camp every
oboes
damn summer.
involved. Anyways,
Right.
when they talked about the Bible and they talked about extraterrestrials, they talked about extraterrestrials.
Oh my God.
They
So I
did not
was on,
call
did not.
them extraterrestrials.
Right.
But they said everything from angels to people from the sky to watchers. It was in our
Yeah.
text.
See, our
people that weren't from here.
Yeah, it was people that were not of this earth.
Okay, so to clarify, I'm talking extraterrestrial, off-world, not angels, not demons.
No, and I understand that, but what I'm saying is when
No
the
one
text
2,000
straight
years
up-
ago talked about aliens.
Yeah, they,
Straight
no,
up
they did.
said-
No one said the word aliens.
that it was people from not this earth,
Right.
then what were we thinking they were from? They
Well,
had to
they
be
were specified
from
angels,
somewhere
if that was the
other
case.
than here.
Did they
cherubim.
say that?
Well, dude, if they're not of Earth, then they
Did
are
they say not of
extraterrestrial. Yes.
Back 2,000 years ago?
No, not back 2,000 years ago, but Pastor Bob sure did.
No.
Yeah, but Pastor
It's-
Bob also
it's
took
just-
the Bible that was brought to him translated from Latin to English.
It was
Which is a
translated
shit
from
translation.
Hebrew to Latin to English.
Yes,
Well, the
and
thing
both
is-
times it
English,
was
back
shit translation.
That
Yeah.
that
Might
all
as well
aside,
well have Google have done it. Okay?
Hey, Google's a good
Yeah.
bitch.
but that all
Uh-huh.
aside, you look at the Bible talks about something that's weird called Ezekiel's wheel, which many would.
But I mean,
consider crap.
honestly, even if you read the original Bible forms, they talk about people that are not from here.
Right.
Whether they're from the heavens, and they say the heavens, they are
Uh-huh.
from the heavens.
Right.
The heavens translating to somewhere
Not
in the
once do they
universe.
say people from
Not
from
Earth. Extraterrestrial.
Right. But anybody
Come on,
not
man.
from Earth would be considered extraterrestrial.
You keep
because
going
they're
back to
not
Earth,
from
but
the
it's not
terrestrial.
from Earth because they didn't know the idea of Earth at that point.
Okay,
No.
I am so sorry.
So-
They said they were from the stars. They were from the heavens.
From the heavens.
Coming from the heavens, from the stars, wouldn't that mean
didn't
that they
call
were
them
not
people.
of this
They
planet?
didn't call them people.
They did
Okay.
not call them people.
Cool.
They called them gods. They called them watchers. They called them leviathans.
I don't know enough about Catholicism other than the Pope came out in the last 5-10 years and said,
Oh, he didn't come out.
okay, he spoke.
He's cool with it, but he's not there yet.
No, but he spoke and said, if there are extraterrestrials, we will welcome them into the fold. Before that, though, growing up as a Catholic, do you ever recall what would you describe UFOs or extraterrestrials? Was there anything?
Someone
within
from not
Catholicism?
Earth.
Right. We will clarify that.
Space.
Okay.
The final frontier.
So what I can tell you is in the actual sacrament of Mass, there is no mention of
Things not of this earth.
other than those with God.
Which would be a seat of spirits or
Which
angels?
don't have a corporal form.
Okay. And that would be angels.
Yes.
So no, in answer to your question, Robert, they don't talk about beings with wings. I think the Bible does.
Yes. A few of the disciples did.
Right.
But Moses, Noah, anyone else who really talked to God before the time of Jesus never really talked to it. So either Jesus had some really good fucking weed, or he was making way too much water into wine.
Right?
Well, with his hair like that, he was definitely a hippie.
He's definitely something.
No,
Get my couch now, by the way. I keep getting asked if you found Jesus, and I didn't know he was lost, or he's under my couch.
I know a shit ton of people named Jesus.
Right?
Knowing the actual...
I find Jesus every other day.
knowing the actual Catholic scriptures,
Right.
there is no talk of actual, like, people not of Earth.
Now, do you think aliens ever try to speak for the Catholics? That you had on the show?
Oh, yeah, no.
They spoke for everybody.
And no, there's definitely an episode there where they were like, in Catholicism.
Right,
And-
and Cole was pulling what little hair he's got left out.
According to ancient alien theorists,
Right.
Catholics are wrong.
Right.
And that was proven.
And they got that from a choir boy?
No.
Ancient alien theorists say yes.
They actually, so the guy who actually goes on Ancient Aliens claiming to be a Catholic priest.
And he speaks for all Catholics, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, he claims to
Absolutely.
be a Catholic priest,
Right.
but he's not.
Oh.
He is an excommunicated priest.
Oh, yeah. The only one they can find is actually come out and talk about aliens.
Fuck yeah.
You know.
Honestly, yeah, because at that point, we still weren't allowed to.
Okay.
Okay, but I gotta say,
Now he's cool with it because he believes that everything in the universe that has life in it is one of God's creatures. So if they are out there, they are God's creatures.
Right.
well, and
That's
I
kinda
mean,
what
why
the
the
Pope did.
fuck wouldn't they be? Okay, what if we dissect the Bible for a second here, and we think of the Garden of Eden as the Big Bang, and we think of Adam and Eve as actual fucking atoms and photons.
Yeah. Well, in that
Okay?
form.
Therefore, realistically, even if we go by the Bible standards, it's still the same fucking story.
True.
Right.
So realistically, why wouldn't there be people, or, excuse me, not people, but different races on different planets within the heavens?
Well, and you know, you've got the burning bush. You've got the ladder that came down that Elijah was on.
Oh, dude.
I mean, you've got all these, I guess, miraculous
You have
things.
the entire lost fucking chapters of Enoch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but
Oh, no,
let's-
absolutely.
Let's stick with Genesis with what Kayla was saying, okay?
All right.
Friend, let's go. So Adam and Eve are atoms and photons,
Right.
okay? That first couple of months while they're living in peace and harmony is the first...
Dark Ages.
No, like the first billion or 10 billion years of existence.
Yeah, and the Dark Ages as far as the universe is concerned.
Right.
No.
Yes.
I am saying what I'm saying is the temptation of the apple
Uh-huh.
is man's first steps, man's first...
See,
Leaving the safety of God and striking out for themselves.
Yes, becoming actual, like, getting our own free will.
Kicking the shit out of their alien overlords.
That too.
yeah, buddy. Well, okay, so what if the temptation of the apple, the temptation of evil, is actually dark matter and dark energy?
Wait.
Like, if we're going to
The
that...
temptation of the apple wasn't evil. The temptation of the apple was knowledge.
That's right.
Right, which is why I'm saying, what if we were to take Adam and Eve as atoms and protons, okay? And we were to take the devil and temptation as dark matter, dark energy. Right? Now, if we were to do that, if we were to say that God created an Eden because he created the Big Bang, creating both yin and yang, basically, which created everything from that point.
But the thing is, okay, the problem with including the devil in that.
Right.
That's why I didn't include the devil. I was saying temptation and the apple.
Right.
Okay? Because he is an actual... I'm going to call him a character. Because it's just a book in the end.
Right.
I don't know if it's real. So
Okay.
he is a character in a book. But he's not just featured then.
Yeah.
He is featured in stories written by men that we know actually existed.
Yes. Absolutely.
As someone they actually met.
But there has to be a reason for somebody to do wrong. Okay, so in our minds, okay, as human beings, we don't just do wrong. There has to be a driving force behind that wrong.
What the fuck does that have to do with extraterrestrials in the Bible?
It doesn't have anything to do with extraterrestrials.
Come on.
Just taking the fucking story wherever you wanted to go?
No, I was...
All right, moving along.
Jesus Christ. Okay, black-eyed babies.
No,
I tell you what.
So, do you think the Men in Black movie, there was any foundation to real Men in Black?
Yes.
No.
Yes. And I
I
believe
think there are two types of Men in Black.
Okay, we'll get to
Okay.
that.
Is there
We'll
one?
we'll get to that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
another topic.
But-
I'll sit back over here.
No.
You get over in that dark part of the forest, Joe.
But what's your so I want to hear your thoughts. What's your
Mystery
thoughts
to it.
on the Men in Black?
Okay.
If they got something from I don't know
No.
somewhere.
I believe that the actual Men in Black that exist is the basis for the movie.
I
Okay.
do not.
That is the
Absolutely.
reason they
So
wrote that movie.
that will put them in the government topic.
Yes.
Well, I think
That's
it
one
exists.
kind.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the movie exists simply because they had been hearing all the stories and the conspiracy
And
theories
that's
of Men in Black.
Right,
I don't
and
think
they made
got
their
any
own
inside
fictional
information.
improvement of it.
And Will
Now,
Smith and Will Smith needed a paycheck.
Fuck Will.
Nope.
Sorry.
Well,
Not at all.
Slaps like a girl.
I can tell you that for sure.
And
He
He
his
was not,
bald
because
wife.
Will Smith was not first choice.
Who was?
Friend, about 18 other actors.
Yeah, but they all turned it
Oh,
down because they said it was shit. Okay. And honestly, if you look at the fucking movie, it is shit.
It is. But
Number
it was-
one,
it was-
their
it
number
was
one
entertaining.
choice
It was entertaining.
felt he was too
It's
old for the part.
entertainment,
Yeah.
not a documentary.
No, not at all.
yes. In fact,
Um,
what Joe
But
said. yes.
it also was
Okay,
entertaining.
That movie entertained the shit out of me.
Yep.
I think
I've
if
seen it
we're
several
gonna go for Men in Black, I'm thinking more. Okay, so original Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't even add that in my notes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay,
Anderson.
that dude. That's what I think of when I think of fucking Men in Black.
Right,
I don't
right,
think
right.
of Will Smith in a pair of sunglasses driving
Whoa,
around
whoa,
with
whoa,
a fucking
okay,
pistol.
But you're also forgetting the fact that Will Smith is not the only person in that.
No,
Tommy Lee Jones
I like
plays the
Tommy
part
Lee
of
Jones.
Mr. Anderson.
I
Yeah.
gotta tell you,
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is not my cup of tea either. But
Oh, I love Tommy
that's
Lee
my
Jones.
own personal
For
opinion on that.
shame.
That's my
For
own
shame.
personal
Right.
opinion on
We
that.
get it.
Well,
It-
our
it
opinion
has-
is wrong.
It has black people in it, and you don't like black people movies. We get it.
Whoa! Whoa!
Hey, it's true.
Get out!
Let's not lie. Fuck you. You know it's true.
She hates strong white males.
No, actually, I have a really hard time understanding black movies. Okay, Cole made me watch like Soul Plane or something, and I was like, why the
Barbershop.
fuck is this funny?
Barbershop.
Sorry,
Oh, good God.
but truth is truth. I was sitting there like the whole fucking 2 hours going, I don't find humor in this.
But you're not supposed to. It's not aimed at you.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying to him was I was like, Why the fuck did you make me watch that? It wasn't even funny.
Because Eli.
I don't understand shit that's happening right now.
I love it.
I'm going to clarify something here. Just hold
Kayla,
on
that might
second.
be because you're actually in a pod somewhere covered in goo with lots of things stuck in you in your matrix thing.
Hey, don't talk to me about your pod, man.
Joe, Rick, Eric,
Yep.
Joe
Nikki's
Britt,
still busy.
Yep.
Friend, I think I should get a pass. I should be able to make her watch any movie I fucking want, because I have watched over 900 hours of different fucking bullshit documentaries that only got made because someone needed a thesis point.
Uh-huh.
Hey, now I gotta say,
What do you think?
am
Yep.
straight
I'm
up. I am
Really?
straight up a documentary whore. Okay? And I think I have watched everything on not only the History Channel, but Curiosity Stream and every other fucking one of them. Because I sit there and I try to find a new one and I'm like, watched it. Okay, quite like people do new movies. But that's my thing. I do documentaries.
Yeah, and I get that, and I watch every one of them with you, except for Ancient Aliens, because that's not a documentary, that's a dramatization of bullshit.
Yep.
But, friend,
So is that date night for you two?
unfortunately, most of the time, yes.
No, hey, no, it is not.
You want to
Okay, date night is a Big Mac and a hey, we don't have fucking kids, bro. Okay.
And then we actually both remember we still actually have kids, they're just at home.
Yeah.
And then we also remember we gotta wake up in the morning and go to work, so
Yeah.
it's just not okay.
Friend,
So,
no,
I go to bed with murder porn on, which is all the crime and the
Whoa.
horse and things on it, and then I wake up with it apparently. So
I was thinking of some creepy hostile shit right there.
Rick, you might be a little too old for this, but you gotta be careful what you say there. I wouldn't call it that.
No, dude.
That's what I call it.
Dude.
There was
I know somebody that is addicted to murder porn.
There is actually there used to be a website called
Did
Murder
the
Porn.
husband do it? I don't know, but he had a girlfriend, and the next door neighbor looked suspicious.
Okay,
Next on Dateline.
I might be like of a different generation or something here, but all I'm thinking of you is jacking off in a tub while you're slitting some chick's throat on you. Okay, and that is so not cool.
There used to be a
Wow.
website.
That's a hell of a date night you got here, Cole.
That's some
Jesus
crazy
Christ.
ass murder porn.
There used to be a website called Murder Porn
okay, well I didn't know that.
that actually
It
actually featured recorded murders, like as they happened.
ooh, damn.
Ew.
I
That's
heard
evidence.
murder porn on South Park. That's where I heard it from.
That's where I heard it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
All the parents were addicted.
Yes.
And,
God.
I am trying to remember the name of that website that.
Oh, honey,
New-
just don't. Just don't.
If you go to
Oh, let's not advertise that.
If you go to whitehouse.com to this day, you will not get White House. You don't think you're going for
Oh
it.
my
So,
god.
No,
He's gonna give out
there
my
used to be a
OnlyFans.
website where you could, like the first game was based off of Columbine High School shooting. The
Which
second,
I know about that game.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I remember that too.
I don't remember the name of the website.
Neither do
though, but
I,
it's
but
gone.
I remember that shit.
But then like there was one where
Where
you had
Santa Claus
Osama,
shit down the
no,
chimneys?
you had Osama bin Laden on dartboard, and you threw javelins at him.
Why the fuck would you javelin him? Why wouldn't it be like axes or
Because if you got him in the eye when you pulled it out, his eye came with the javelin.
Pointy sticks.
I kill you!
But when it comes to Men in Black, I honestly do
Wow,
believe
back
that
around.
the original storyline, when he wrote it, he got it from a lot of the stories that are out there about the Men in Black.
I just like the song because
yeah.
it makes me want to dance. We are the
Well,
Men in
actually,
Black.
Cole, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Because all the stories we've heard about the Men in Black from the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, the really old ones.
Right.
It's always somebody that had an experience with a UFO or something. Then people would show up and say, "No, you didn't see what you saw."
Yeah.
And they were
And that was their whole thing. Now, honestly, I think the Men in Black have kind of gone by the wayside these days.
Oh no!
They used to have listen to this.
I'll get to a current case.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'll get to a current case. Finish what you're saying.
No, what I was going to say is they used to have to surveil you. They'd have to put cameras in you and listening devices and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd have to follow you around town, and people would spot the Men in Black following them. Now we've all got these little things. Some of them probably have, some of you right now have them in your hands. And they know everything about you, who you talk to, what you listen to,
Your cell
where
phone.
you're at, everything.
All
Your
they
cell
gotta do
phone.
is go on
They don't have to
Facebook.
track. The Men in Black don't have to go into the field anymore. They're just sitting in an office in Foggy Bottom going, look what Eric's talking about, that dickhead.
Yep.
And
And that's all it takes.
Right?
That's the
And
government. That's the
then-
government, Men in Black.
Right.
Then pops
That's the
up some
government, Men
little
in Black.
fucking thing on your screen saying, "This is not approved."
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to say that the aliens are the same way. I don't think the extraterrestrial or the non-governmental Men in Black have to really appear either.
Okay, but
They've
when we're
got
thinking,
higher tech
okay,
than the government does.
when we're thinking about that, and we move into the realm of like the black-eyed children and all that, okay, because there are certain cases where they say that black-eyed children are related to the Men in Black.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what the fuck is that?
We'll get there.
The
What?
Men in Black are no longer a government agency, remember?
I don't think they ever
When
were.
Tommy Lee Jones was explaining it to Will Smith, friend, he says, when we started, we were a government agency, we were funded by them, but we no longer have anything to do with your government.
Well, okay,
But here's the thing, okay? The original comic book was published in 1990.
1990.
Okay.
Okay, it was created by Lowell Cunningham, illustrated by Sandy Carruthers. It ran 3 issues, and then it ran another 3 the following year. Friend Cunningham had the idea for the comic once a friend of his introduced him to the concept of government Men in Black upon seeing a black van riding the streets. Friend, now the thing is,
did it have deer written across the side though?
the first, with the original comic book, the Men in Black is an international intelligence organization which oversees and investigates both good and evil paranormal activity on Earth. Their remit includes alien life, demons, mutants, zombies, werewolves, vampires, legendary creatures, and other paranormal beings.
And that is a real agency.
There might be something out there like that.
No, there is. They don't hide it. There
Yeah.
is an agency within the FBI that is very much like X-Files.
But again, in
Okay,
this
or,
series,
like, okay.
they're no longer part of our government. They haven't been since
Right.
almost they started.
Okay.
As soon as they met up with aliens, they became an alien entity, not a government entity.
Okay, but
Okay.
if we're looking at Men in Black as an alien entity, okay,
So here's the difference.
what fucking aliens are they?
I don't have an answer to that one.
All of them.
All of them, probably, yeah. But
Okay.
it's interesting. Go ahead, Rick.
Oh, I was just going to say the whole Men in Black thing. Well, if we really want to go back, I think like Roswell, places like that, it was the 50s. Guys wore, the government guys wore the black suits, and probably whatever standard issue was that they were told to wear by whomever. But along the way, I'm almost wondering if it hasn't become a thing sort of like Section 31 in Star Trek, where it's not the CIA, it's not spying on other, governments in the world, that it may actually just be that they're there to just deal with any extraterrestrial phenomenon. So it's their dark agency that's being funded with beyond the government's reach. It's, what's the it's not don't ask, don't tell. It's the plausible deniability.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Part
you
of the-
just yeah.
and probably part of the Black Project funding that comes out into the Pentagon.
Okay, well, at the same point, when we think of, like, people with black eyes, okay, just like Robert put in the fucking chat right now, we think of people being possessed by some kind of a demon entity or
Right.
something like that. That's what causes your black eyes, right? So, are we talking about demon possession here, or are we talking about extraterrestrial? Because at the same point, these are two totally separated
Well,
fucking
and
entities.
just like we were talking about last week with the walk-ins being
Right.
essentially alien possessed.
Right. So, I mean, if you got all of these different levels of possibility here, now, are we talking about demons? Are we talking about aliens? Are we talking about some kind of robotic fucking structure?
Well, and that's the weird part, because back in the first documented case of American Men in Black actually happened in the 40s, and there was a case here in 1947 at the Morial Island incident. Actually, he was
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay,
Approached
right,
by Men in Black.
right, and I remember that.
But those
whole-
were government agents. Now, if you look at some of the other reports of Men in Black, they have like pasty, almost non-human skin. Some of them speak telepathically, and it doesn't matter what year it is. They always come in a almost mint condition black Cadillac.
What proof do we have that they were government agents?
in the first place.
In the
Other
first
than-
place, because they
I-
were more human, more
Other
human
than-
descriptive.
Yeah.
That doesn't make
No.
a government.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
It
but I
doesn't.
mean, like, they couldn't have, like, in the first place, they could have been just some fucking extraterrestrial or some demon or whatever the hell you want to call them, but
Wearing their Edgar suit.
they didn't necessarily need to be part of the government in the first
No,
place.
absolutely not.
And
They were
these sightings were not only in the U.S. but around the world.
right.
So
No, I know.
if that's
I'm
the
talking
case,
about American documentary because
right,
most of your
right.
American
But what I'm
documentaries
saying is,
started in the 40s.
if we take into account the rest of the world, okay, then we can't say that they were from a government agency because of the fact that they were everywhere.
What's interesting is what happened just prior to the Morial incident. You remember?
Kenneth Arnold.
Exactly. 2 weeks before the Morial incident was Kenneth Arnold.
Okay.
A lot of shit happened in 47.
For
47.
our viewers that do not know what that is, can you
Kenneth
explain what
Arnold,
Kenneth Arnold
was
is?
the first one to coin the term flying saucer because as he was flying east of Mount Rainier in his Cessna airplane, he saw 9 flying discs that he described as moving up and down like flying, like
Okay, so he coined the term
Saucers
flying
skipping across the
saucers.
There you
water
go. Exactly.
Okay.
is the way he described their movement.
Yep. And the media
Even
picked
though
it
he
up.
didn't, even though when he physically described the craft,
Right.
he did not describe a saucer, but newspapers screwed it up.
Yeah, they call them flying saucers, and it picked up. And then shortly after the
Yep.
Morial incident, Roswell happened, and Roswell took the whole stage. But I don't recall anything of Men in Black coming to Roswell.
Okay, now, in that same sense, there was Men
No, that
in
was
Black
U.S.
in
military
Roswell.
showing up and telling people you talk about it will kill you.
Yeah.
They talked about the
All
fact
the witnesses
that
said that.
there was not only these people that came and said, if you talk about it, we'll kill you. There was also the mailbox. There was also all these incidences where it would be considered, I guess, Men in Black.
Well, there was a couple cases where Men in Black showed up at the door, and the people left after they left, and their house was rummaged through. And then the Men in Black show back up. Now, as far as the black-eyed children,
You go
go
any
ahead.
further because it's moving back up the Discord here.
Okay.
In answer to Robert's thing, he says check the pants. If there's room, then it's likely a demon. If the parts are tight, then it's extra testicular. Could you imagine, Robert, how much less money Total Recall would have made if it was an extra testicle instead of 3 boobs?
Hey, there's
I
Nikki.
don't know. There's plenty of fucking women that would have been into it. I'm
Nikki's
just
here
saying.
now.
Yeah.
There she is.
Honestly, I don't know what kind of women you've been hanging out with, but any of them that would be impressed with an extra testicle.
Yeah.
Hey, bitch, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm impressed.
Well,
Why, you have 3 testicles that I don't know about?
Hey, whoa. Maybe.
Are you talking to Kayla?
Yeah.
Stand up. Go stand up.
She said she's looking in the mirror. And
God.
she's pretty impressed with her 3 testicles, apparently.
Hey, you weren't complaining last week.
Oh, I don't even want to know that the
Anyways,
going through my head right now.
black-eyed children.
That's how they got the black eyes. Man, Kayla.
I didn't whack our kids with my testicles, Cole.
No, you just open the door for them if they knock on the fucking door.
I would.
Oh, I know you
Okay,
would.
now I'm
That's the
telling
scary
you
part.
that full out, if somebody wants to fucking annihilate me, all they gotta do is be a black-eyed kid knocking on my door saying, I'm hungry.
Can I
and I'll
use
be like,
your, telephone
come in,
reading
I'll
thingy?"
make you a sandwich. I don't give a fuck what color their eyes are.
Bullshit. You just said they had to be black-eyed. If they're blue-eyed, fuck those kids.
All right,
Oh.
I gotta say it, because my German heritage, I gotta be against those kids.
And the bunker turns the corner.
Kayla, your German heritage would make you like the ones with blue eyes.
But I'm trying not to be racist.
Too late.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, that ship has sailed.
ship already sailed.
So there's actually one case that I know of where
Magellan.
black-eyed children showed up, and they were actually invited into the house by an elderly couple. And
See, old people rock. This is
Hold on.
what happens. Like, old people didn't see that they didn't have no fucking eyes. They just saw they were children.
I would like to throw a theory out there like those
Okay.
ancient alien motherfuckers.
Old
Yeah.
people have bad eyesight and they didn't notice the black eyes?
Exactly.
No,
Don't
this-
like children.
This ties
Whoa.
in our whole everything.
Ties
Okay.
in everything.
Okay.
This
Most-
is Cole's theory of everything,
Yes.
guys.
Everything from tonight. So this will tie in Men in Black and Black-Eyed
From
Children
tonight.
and an extra testicle.
bring it.
Not really.
Huh?
Well, that's kind of.
Oh, God.
Three-eyed blind, baby.
So if okay,
And Nikki's
Hey, does it add the fact that the third testicle is radioactive?
it could. Actually, it could. Hold on. Okay.
So is
Okay,
it
sorry.
is it gamma radiation? Do we get Hulks?
That's where
No.
they get element 115.
Oh my god! You got a
It would
Hulksticle!
be chemo.
Sorry.
That's only if you jerk off with the
Whoa.
third testicle.
Okay, what is your theory of everything for tonight?
It is a random ass theory. Thought of it when I was going to pick up Kayla tonight.
Yeah,
Oh.
and half an hour late.
What if the Men in Black,
Uh-huh.
or one version of them, we'll go with that, one version of
Right.
them,
All right.
is the tall person that is always with the black-eyed children?
Oh.
But here's the
Whoa.
thing. Wait.
No, I was thinking
Whoa.
of a pedo man in black
Well-
following the kids around, you know?
Hold on.
Come and get some medieval candy! Okay.
What if they're Reapers?
Whoa. You're talking about, whoa.
But the
I actually
Reaper-
haven't heard any stories about tall people being with black-eyed children. That's why people want to let the black-eyed children in to help them when they come to their car or their house.
No.
Is because they're alone.
Yeah,
No,
but
you're
I've
they
never
not.
heard of
Absolutely.
them being
No,
with
they're, yeah.
some big tall guy.
No,
in a
they're on the
big
street.
tall guy hides behind the tree when they
Yeah,
knock
they're
the door.
on the street.
No, that's Slender Man.
And when you don't let them in, the children meet up with them and they walk together.
Whoa. So there's black-eyed adults?
No, it's a hooded
Oh.
figure.
Actually, there
It's a
have been
gray
black-eyed
figure?
adults, but
It's a
they're very
black
rare.
hooded figure.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, that's totally fucking Reaper.
So the black-eyed
That'd be a
kids are the
Reaper.
Reaper's kids. In training. Reapers in training.
So the black-eyed babies are just Reapers in training.
Clerical workers. They're doing the paperwork for the future.
Okay, whoa.
And that's where the third testicle comes in. It's a fucking tumor. And he was gonna die, so they freaking grabbed him.
There you go. And it's radioactive because he hangs around with some cherry.
There you go, Nikki. I got you that third testicle. See?
Okay, so what if
Looks
black
like
eyed
it's
children
just me
are
and you, girl. It's just me and you.
What if black-eyed children are like left-handed people and they have no souls? That's the point. Maybe they're just
Whoa.
born without souls.
Whoa.
What? So,
Do they have red hair?
Yeah,
Johnny,
that's
you have
gingers.
no soul.
Gingers don't have souls.
Wait, I thought this was gingers, not left hands.
Actually, for a long time, it was left-handed
So
people.
what
that
if
didn't
you
have
were a
souls.
left-handed ginger? You're just totally fucked.
Would you let a left-handed ginger with black eyes into your house?
Yes, you would.
Yes, I would. If it was a child,
black eyes.
I would. I'd be like, "Oh, baby,
I
you
think we
want
just
some
pissed off
fucking
everybody in
tea?"
the audience with that's left-handed and has red hair.
oh, good job, Joe. Good job.
Friend, well, hey. If you're
My
really
friend's
interested in
redhead,
coming over,
so-
I've given the address out on the air before. Go look in the archives. You'll find it. And you'll stare down the barrel of a gun. But hey, it's cool. Come on over.
As Rick says, triggered. Okay.
So the case in, tying this in, because the case in the 1950s, where they actually let the black-eyed children in, a black Cadillac.
That one out.
Huh? Say again?
Jesus Christ. Robert says, bring on Ed Sheeran.
Oh, God
Fucking
damn.
insurance.
There were black-eyed men that picked up the black-eyed children from the elderly people's house.
You ain't Men in Black.
Yeah, Men in Black. You got all kinds of problems. Yeah, Men in Black. Men in Black picked up the black-eyed children. Too much black in this conversation.
Fred.
Okay, whoa. Now, okay, so if we're gonna talk about black-eyed children, we're gonna talk about these black-eyed beings that are with black-eyed children and everything else.
You say black-eyed beaners?
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh God, there we
That
go.
only happens on the border. Okay. What?
Damn it!
Sorry.
Oh, God.
So,
Check, please.
You're not supposed to talk about them crossing the border. They're trying to do it illegally. Let them do what they want.
I have said for years, I am a scratchback, not a wetback, because I can't swim and I went under the fence. Okay, so
I need
And
a
there
shot.
goes our sponsorship right out the door.
You're making Nikki reach new, notes in the freaking,
I know, because
Okay.
you reached an octave I have never heard on this plane. Okay. But here's the deal. No, when we talk about black-eyed children, we talk about Men in Black, we talk about all these things, right?
Right.
We say that they are X tall, that they are X age, that they have this, but every single one of them has completely pale skin. Is there any version of the black-eyed fucking children or Men in Black besides Will Smith?
she's going to ask if they sparkle.
No!
I know
I'm
it.
not going to ask if they sparkle. It
Oh
is
no, that's just down in Forks.
of a different race.
Fracking Washington vampires.
Yeah.
No, really.
I hate Washington vampires.
Because
Yeah, sure
when
do I.
we sit there and we talk about the black-eyed people, or we talk about the fucking Men in Black, we always say that they are like 6 foot tall, white, super white males. Okay? Is there any females in that? Is there any ethnicities in that? And does it change from region to region?
Actually, I have heard several reports of people running to two people called the Men in Black, and one of them was female.
Yep,
I
Same
have
with
heard those stories.
I've heard that story.
Same
So
with
yes,
the
there are
black-eyed kids.
females.
Right, and,
there's
and
always
that's what I'm
females.
saying. Does it change from region to region? So if, let's say, for instance, I was over in Japan and a black-eyed child knocked on my door, would they be of Caucasian descent or would they be of Chinese descent? Does it matter what region you're in?
Well, no.
Yes,
Japanese
if they're
would be.
yeah,
If you're in Japan,
it's not
your door.
exactly.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Is like if they walk in, if they knock on your door.
Have we offended every ethnicity tonight
Well,
yet?
okay, let's be clear. I am very proud of Kayla right now because she was trying very hard not to be racist there, but she failed. But she was trying really hard.
I'm a try hard.
Mel Brooks has had a revival recently, so yeah, you're okay, Kayla. You're
Yeah.
fine.
I know History of the World Part 2.
Right? So yeah, if you're gonna offend somebody, offend everybody. So yeah,
Fine.
Good
Okay,
job.
here I go with offending everybody.
there you go.
Okay. If you're in China, are they going to
Okay,
be
hold on.
Chinese?
Whoa.
Okay.
I
Yes.
actually haven't heard any cases.
No.
Most of your Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, I guess it would be. It's whatever.
Okay, because
Most of your China, Japan cultures
Philippines,
don't talk about
Vietnam.
black-eyed children.
Well, no, because if you see an Asian kid with black eyes, you're not making it the fuck out.
okay, they showed that in The Grudge. It was fucking scary.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or The Ring. So, was it The Ring?
But no, you don't hear
No,
about
it was
any
The Grudge.
black-eyed
It was
children.
like, ah! And then there was this like black-eyed,
culture.
like
That's
Chinese
more,
baby.
I do believe it's more of an American culture thing.
I do gotta say something to Nikki. Nikki, you don't feel so bad for laughing all the time because at least you have a normal laugh. Right, Kayla?
Shut the fuck up.
Eric can confirm this, but if you get Kayla laughing really
Oh
hard,
my God, she sounds like a duck.
she honks like a goose.
It's not my fault.
Oh, don't start.
It's genetics.
You know, when she said that, I saw feathers fly.
Right?
Oh,
Wait, you come from the
Really?
golden goose?
I've got a cousin that laughs like a chipmunk on like speed.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
like
know
one of
how
those.
else to describe it. She still has it to this day, and it's the most annoying sound you will ever hear in your life. I don't know. The thing with Dumb and Dumber? No. You want to hear the most annoying sound ever? No.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
don't do it. Don't. Oh, my God. That is an movement.
Okay,
it's
so
not.
everybody,
No?
Rick's cousin is the most annoying thing
No.
ever.
Nope.
Well,
A 6-year-old
kind
kid.
of is.
A 6-year-old kid trying to explain Minecraft.
Oh my
Oh.
fucking god. It's like blocks, but it's not really blocks, but it's like blocks, and then you get blocks.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, that would drive me nuts.
Oh, it was terrible. It was fucking terrible.
So, let's talk about recent Men in Black sightings. So there
I'll
are,
give you a recent black,
go
not
ahead.
Men in Black, but black-eyed children sighting.
Yep.
I went to the grocery store the other day,
Oh,
and as I was walking up, there was these little girls dressed in these green paramilitary uniforms, and they were selling cookies. Scared the shit out of me.
Did you let them in?
Joe, I don't care what you say, buy the raspberry ones.
Oh, fuck off. It's always the Thin Mints.
No, they've got a new raspberry one. Within 2 weeks, certain areas were sold out, and they sold for $125
Oh,
online.
goddamn.
Well, at least they weren't cherry.
Kayla.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm a fucking terrible person.
You are.
Oh. So there are two videos going around. One has two Men in Black that come into actually the security cam of a hotel lobby. And there's another where the clerk, or the
I want to
clerk
know what
of
the hell she's on.
the clerk of a hotel is on camera, and doing her thing, and a Man in Black is seen coming in. Man in Black is seen coming in. She pulls her gun out,
Oh shit.
and he waved his hand, and she put the gun down, and she left with him, and was never seen again. Now, was it all staged? Possibly.
Probably.
Was this the old
we're
black
at
and
that
white
point.
footage inside the hotel that was someplace like Quebec?
I think, yeah, that's one of them.
Okay, I've seen that footage before,
Mm-hmm.
and my whole thing about that is
You don't believe
it was
anything that comes out
shot
of
in the
Quebec?
late 50s, early 60s,
Right?
and everybody wore suits and fedoras. Everybody. Look at the old footage. Everybody wore it. Oh my God, it's Men in Black. Look, this guy's wearing a fedora. Everybody wore fedoras.
But
Everybody had long coats.
But
Hey,
if I
Joe,
remember
hold
right,
out.
there was more details to that specific
Joe,
case.
you don't believe anything that comes out of Quebec. Fuck the Quebecois.
No, I don't.
Fran, tabernacle.
Well,
And then
everybody-
let's talk about the Bill Burns situation. So, who all remembers UFO hunters? Bill Burns.
I'm sorry.
Bill Burns,
I'm
yeah.
under
Blinky.
the age of 53.
What?
Bill
No,
Burns.
Bill,
You're talking about
UFO hunters is like
Blink-
in the last 10 years. And it got pulled.
Okay.
Bill Burns was actually approached. Was he not, Joe? He was approached by, he claims to
Yes,
be
he was.
approached by Men in Black and told, you are not going to be on the air anymore. Your show is cut.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At the time, that show's UFO Hunters with Bill Burns was the #1 show on cable.
Absolutely.
And they kept pushing it, and they got into information that made someone very uncomfortable, and the show was taken off the air like that. Not at the end of the season, right in the middle of the season. The
That was in the
#1 show on TV at the time. Gone.
So there are only two
would
UFO
be the
shows
first-
I like, and that UFO Hunters was actually, they did their research. They were actually a
Yep.
really damn good show. And the
was
other
great.
one was Hangar 1. And Hangar 1 was based off, MUFON put that one out. It was actually based off MUFON case files. And it got cut. Now, I think they got cut, or they cut themselves because of funding.
Or maybe because both
Possibly.
of you couldn't even make
There's
it
a
to the
third
first
show-
episode
there's a
without
third
falling
show.
fucking asleep.
I
I
actually
don't
like that
remember
one.
the name of it. I don't remember the name of the third show, but it was Jesse Ventura's show.
Yeah.
And he was doing the same kind of stuff that Bill Burns was doing. He started pushing the envelope on things and asking questions.
You talked about conspiracy theory.
They chopped his show, and he said, "Screw it." He was threatened, and he moved like to Mexico or Guatemala somewhere. He wanted to get completely off the grid and away from everything.
Yeah, you're talking
Whatever
about
they told him,
conspiracy-
it
you're
scared
talking
the
about
shit out
conspiracy
of him.
theory, and that was a decent
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But looking at some of the stuff he brought up has been debunked.
Some of it, but at the
some of
time
it
they
has.
didn't know.
No,
I mean, they
absolutely
were at
not.
least investigating.
And he actually went and
And they
talked to
pushed it.
senators. He actually
Yeah.
went and approached senators about a lot of his shit that he talked about.
well, isn't it telling that Jesse Ventura, and I'm a wrestling fan, and they always, whenever they have a big event, they bring back some of the legends. Jesse
Yep.
Ventura was a wrestling legend. That's where he got his name at. And he is persona non grata in
He was
WWE.
also the governor of Minnesota, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, he was.
You know
Out
what's
of that
you,
thing.
you know what's interesting about that is he described about when he was the governor, and he was actually pulled into a room before he was the governor and had to answer some crazy ass questions by this panel of secret whatever CIA and whatnot, according to him anyway.
Yeah, he is on the right track.
That once. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
you're
my
fine.
bad.
I take.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
I'm gonna go over and sit in the corner again.
I'm gonna get fucking yelled at here probably. I think Jesse Ventura left for a completely unrelated reason.
Such as.
Well, you look at our Bell. How many times did Art Bell bring up some drama and say, I gotta leave. I'm not ever coming back because I've been threatened.
Yep.
And he leaves. And then like a month later he's back.
Oh yeah,
well,
but
they did shoot at his house.
somebody did. So
Who, Art Bell?
That's kind of one of those. Yeah,
Art Bell or Jesse?
Art Bell. Someone shot the crap out of his house one night.
Yeah, but
Could've
look
been
at the
George.
I
shit
think it was the last time he left. He said, "I'm done."
Look at the shit he talked about. I mean, he brought some weird stories. Some shit that really stepped on some people's toes.
Well, the thing about Art Bell, though, you have to remember, he wasn't a researcher. He was
No.
an interviewer.
He was a talk show host.
He would interview people.
Mm-hmm.
He was a talk show host. And sometimes he got a hold of somebody that had some information that maybe some guys, I don't know, men in black government types, whatever you want to call them,
Right.
didn't like. You know they were listening to every word that went on that show.
yep.
Oh, no, absolutely.
And he had some complete wingnuts on there, too. He actually would cut people off and say, nope, you're full of shit, and he'd cut them off. He'd have a guest tonight and said, oh, we're going to open lines.
Yep.
He did that a lot. I
Yeah.
listened to him back in the day, and that's
Yeah.
sad because somebody shooting in his property. It was probably George Norrie, so he was wanting that money.
Oh.
But
Oh, he was wanting the
yeah,
slot. He was wanting the slot,
Well,
if anything. And look where he's at today. And, you know, Art Bell, to me, honestly, is the grandfather of Paranormal Talk Radio. Always will.
Yeah.
Always will be.
This show wouldn't be here without him.
exactly.
None of the shows on TV would be here without him.
Well, most of your paranormal TV, because he actually brought the paranormal to the public.
Well, I when I was living in Waco and just struggling to survive because I had a minimum wage job in television, but I would go home to see my parents back on the Gulf Coast. So that's about a 4-hour drive in the middle of the night usually because I work nights. And that's how I got through. I got through listening to Art Bell, and he literally was talking about stuff that nobody else. I mean, yes, you'd seen shows and movies, but he was doing it on a nightly basis and engaging a lot of different people. And you were right, Joe. He would shut people down that if he didn't agree with them, if he didn't think they were being honest. That was it. Open lines.
Yep.
I was working on drilling rigs at night, not far from Pahrump, Nevada. And this was back in 89 and 90.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just starting out then. And that's when I got hooked. And I listened to him it's like, there's nothing out there like this.
Mm-hmm.
There is no talk radio like this.
No.
And
It was amazing.
it just occurred to me. I mean, he made it accessible. He made it to where if you thought about it, if you had an idea of these things,
Yeah.
he was kind of a voice in the darkness. It was sort of like, because you didn't have other people. If you went and talked to your friends, especially like me, and I had some friends that would go, oh, yeah, absolutely. This would, I could see this happening. I could see aliens. But most of my friends are jocks. And so what are they going to do? They're going to go, well, yeah, right, whatever. So, it's like walking in two different worlds. So it's, he was reassuring. It made me feel like that I wasn't the only one just wondering about these things. And he actually had some really great guests on along the way. And some of them have actually made a pretty good career out of it. Off of him, and they never gave him credit for it. So
No, of course not.
No.
Matt Drudge started on Art Bell way back when. So, yeah, and then he was the one that broke the Clinton stuff with the dress and everything else.
Right.
But, yeah, he was just sort of a, guy out there doing he in the early years of the internet, and he had all these connections. He was somehow finding all this stuff online, and yeah, George put him on, and it was amazing. It made his career. And then, of course, he forgot all about George. Art. So
I guess when you talk about Men in Black, do you think, because I don't remember the description, but do you think it was government or was it the off-world side that approached our current ones like Bill Byrne?
I think Bill Burns was shut down by the government. because actually one of the last shows they did was Autech down in the Caribbean.
Okay.
They started delving into that and poking the bear and poking the bear and poking the bear, and they said, nope, no more. Your show's done.
Okay.
It was that simple.
Right. Well, once you get, and I've noticed this with a lot of different documentaries and stuff, because like Cole said,
Cole told me you listen to a lot of documentaries.
Right? And that's what I said. I am 100%, now fully admit, a documentary whore. I've watched all of them, and I watch all of them because that's what I'm into. But once they get too close to reality, too close to truths, they get canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're the good ones.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
It's usually the ones that I'm super into, and I'm like, oh my god, what's going to happen next week? And then it's like canceled.
Right?
Yeah.
A couple of people that are, say, reporters or investigative people, a couple cameramen, maybe a producer or two, have no power against the government that says, shut the fuck up.
Right?
No, and to be perfectly
Because you
honest,
disappear.
when we look at some of them,
Mm-hmm.
some of the people have gone completely missing
Yep.
afterwards as well. It's not just their show got canceled, they got canceled.
Yeah, they disappear. But, you know, in the last 5-10 years, again, you've got some that all of a sudden they'll have kiddie porn on the computer. And
Right,
it's been
or
documented
something.
well
Oh,
Or
yeah.
something.
that they weren't into porn at all, let alone kiddie porn.
Right, and that's the thing, is that they find some way to
Right,
make these
they'll
people
shut you down.
disappear.
Mhm.
Whether it is permanently disappear,
Like,
or
yeah.
whether it is you're going to jail the rest of your
Socially
life
disappear.
and you're
Yep.
not a credible anymore. Whatever it is,
'Cause
they fucking disappear off the face of the earth.
Back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, I think it was easier just to kill somebody and shut them up.
Exactly.
Now, you
Now
kill
it's a
somebody,
little harder to do that because there's too many forensics and there's too many other
not
things.
just that, but the minute you kill someone that's got a following, you make them a martyr.
So now it's really easy to put something on their fucking computer or to say, hey, they're part of this group or part of that group,
I think
and put them away for a long period
The last
of time.
one that's actually been killed would you'd have to classify as Philip Schneider.
Right, but I mean,
but
look
Philip
at like
Schneider, again,
now-
Philip Schneider. You don't kill yourself with
right,
plastic.
exactly.
frickin'
Now look
tubing.
at like Snowden, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay, big old whistleblower, everything else,
Mm-hmm.
right? He had to run
Yep.
in order to be safe, and now where the fuck is he?
Russia.
They say Russia, but who the fuck knows? He dis-fucking-peared.
Yeah. From this country.
He hasn't called
Okay.
me lately.
He hasn't popped up on anything. He hasn't put anything else out. He hasn't been on social media, any of this shit. So they could say something of the matter of, oh, he ran away to Russia, or he ran away to here or there. But does that mean he actually did? Or did he just fucking disappear?
Well, and it's not just Snowden. There's a couple others. I can't remember the name. There's been a couple more recent whistleblowers too. I
Jesse
believe.
Ventura did not disappear, just so you know.
No.
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 He got
Scrutiny
eaten by
left.
a snake.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
He is launching his new platform called Die First, Then Quit on Substack.
Cool.
Oh.
Cool.
Okay.
It's old Navy SEAL slogan,
Right.
and it's his entire platform that will
Well-
include podcasts, blogs, and
And
videos.
it doesn't make sense for him to disappear because, you know, he was actually going to run for president. And he had a thing where he was going to run as an independent. But because not all the states vote independent on their ballots, he wasn't going to do it. Unless,
No, I think I'm right.
What?
I think he left for a different reason.
more likely, yeah.
He left everything.
Okay.
And his first appearance was Wrestling Con last year.
He went back to wrestling.
Yeah,
Oh,
so he
it's-
disappeared
Or
for
the
10
wrestling
years.
circuit.
All of his friends are dying.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't seen
It's
him.
more
I haven't
personal.
seen him connected in any. They've not put any. If we're talking about Ventura,
Yeah.
no WWE media has said anything, or I've seen about it, and I've got several YouTube channels dedicated to it. And, yeah, it's nothing.
Rick, you got to remember, he sued the WWF.
Well, true, but
So-
Vince is that. So, and he is a Hall of Fame. So technically,
No, but the problem is, after he sued them and they did bring him back, he then overruled Vince McMahon on a match at WrestleMania.
well,
You don't do that.
Okay, but at the same... Okay. Now, we got all these famous fucking people, right? They come out and they start saying X, Y, and Z. And everybody's like, ooh, it could be true. Right?
Right.
So they start figuring out this shit. They start going this way or that way or whatever. But we got just as many people that wouldn't be famous, okay? That aren't considered WrestleMania fucking royalty or anything, saying the same goddamn things. Okay? When you have a population of 8 fucking billion people,
Right.
and 4 fucking billion of them are saying this exists,
You create COVID.
wouldn't that mean it fucking
There you go.
existed?
Oh,
That didn't work, so you bring in monkeypox.
all right.
And now that didn't work, so...
Bring in the
you got-
cicadas!
Oh no,
So-
that didn't work, so they fucking send a meteor in 20 years.
Now they're gonna tell us
Yeah,
that
it's all
mushroom zombies are
fear-mongering
gonna
either
take
way
over
you
the
look at
fucking
it.
world.
Well, not the
saying-
meteor, that's probably real.
Right. So, Nikki, I want to bring you in because you've been silent. What's your thoughts on the Men in Black? And do you see them as 2 types, government and alien?
Yes, Nikki.
Well,
Here we go.
Yep.
silent.
Sorry, my bad. I got to admit, I've been fucking with Nikki tonight.
Eric didn't give you a third option there.
Okay, what's the third option?
Third option would be so either government or alien or interconnected. Both.
Or giant
I want to
mushroom
throw a
people.
monkey wrench in this. What about Hat Man?
Joe, where'd you go?
So you see, the thing is, the big commonality with them all seems to be the hat. So you have Hat
they're the Hat Squad.
Man. Do you think
Yeah.
do you think Hat Man could be tied in there? Shadow people with the hat. The fuck?
I'm so sorry. All I'm thinking of is the only thing that connects all of these
a
crazy
hat.
fuckers is a hat.
Well, you got Hat Man. You got shadow people that have a hat.
Kayla.
The Men in Black, they have a hat.
And I'm just looking at
And
Rick
Slender
over
Man.
there wearing a hat.
So you have Slender Man wearing a hat.
And
I
I
have-
cannot see that. So just an FYI, you can't fuck with me anymore.
Well, I think it's interesting that Nikki got knocked off, and so did I. Anybody else?
No,
Nope.
hang around.
Nope.
Somebody said something that pissed off the Men in Black.
No, they
Well, it
showed
was
up yet.
either you or Nikki.
Well, I'm using
Well,
Star
Nikki hadn't said anything, but she was thinking it, and they know what she's thinking. So
Well, they're talking to her all the time.
You and Nikki were on the same wavelength there,
Right.
and they were like, nope.
So, have you ever experienced the Men in Black with all the work you do, Nikki?
No.
No.
And do
Not
you
even
have
No
a crush
black
on
men,
Tommy Lee
Nikki?
Jones? Or Will Smith?
Ooh, Kayla.
I'm sorry. Men in Black. My bad.
Kayla.
Not respond to that last comment that you just made. Well, I would love to. Anyway.
Ooh, okay,
What the
Lisa
hell?
Lapinelli.
Yes. Oh, bugger it. Okay. Eric. Oh, Kayla.
I don't even know.
No, you probably don't.
the girl thing.
Oh.
No, my wife's a
Oh,
sicko.
she said-
Should we outlaw Discord while we're doing this?
Just for
Yeah.
Kayla.
Yeah.
Well, Discord wouldn't let me in, so I'm off of it tonight.
Good job.
That was a hot question. Oh, don't even start. Okay, the other side just started. Oh, we hit some. Behave yourself. Hear me? I kid you not. Don't start in my head tonight. Sure, we've already been down that road. Oh, starting. Do I think? Yep. Do I think that their government? Highly possible. Do I think they're possibly ET? Yeah, I think that that's a high probability. Do
But
I
you
think
have-
they're both? No. If they now, I'm not picking up. I've never picked up anything psychically, mediumship-wise, anything regarding these two subjects, and it just pisses me off because, believe me, I have asked. I've even. Ooh, I got to be careful. I was just about to get my hand slapped. Yeah, my hand slapped from me. You don't slap very nice. They're not nice when they slap. And you don't just get your hand slapped. So
Someone slaps my hand, they better buy me dinner.
Exactly.
if I slap it,
I got a McChicken waiting for you.
Well, I would imagine that Men in Black would have the ability to camouflage themselves from either. I guess if they're alien, if they're kind of working with our government or anybody else, maybe they're a subsect of their own CIA. Maybe that's why you can't or haven't heard of anything. Maybe could be. Maybe.
So you know what? I remember one specific case too with Men in Black where this guy took a picture of his daughter, I think it was, and he caught what looks like an astronaut-looking form behind her. Now, this astronaut-looking form was not there when he took the picture. It appeared in the picture, and because of
That was in England. He took 3 photos, and in the middle photo, there was someone standing behind her.
Right.
And they figured it didn't make sense. It looked like an astronaut suit. Right. But pretty little girl.
Because of that picture, whether it was a photo glitch in the mom, it was a mom. There were supposed to have been Men in Black that showed up, and they were like in a desert area where any car driving on that dirt road should have been dirty. This car showed up and was spotless. I mean, there was not a speck of dust on the car. And yeah, that was in England.
Okay. Maybe he just did a really good wax job.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I could do a perfect wax job on my truck and drive down my road, my short road, and it'd be covered.
I'm down your short road.
Yeah, I know. And it'll be covered in dirt by the time I got to the house. So I can't imagine a pristine black 1950s limousine or a Cadillac or whatever driving down that road that they showed a picture of and not having dirt on it.
Now, do you guys think there's any validity in the mailbox at Area 51 and its tie to the mini?
No, not at all. The mailbox at Area 51 is just a mailbox. It's out there for people that live up in the hills and they come down to get their mail. That's all that is. And a bunch of idiots went out and go, oh, look, there's a mailbox.
I know, yeah.
And it's near the entrance to Area 51. It must have aliens to do with it.
I want to go. I want to go get my picture taken next to that mailbox, though.
I do too.
Oh,
and we went by there on the way up here, and we went by Area 51 on the highway that runs along. It's
extraterrestrial highway.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we didn't see the. Apparently, we didn't get to the mailbox part. We did find a brothel with a gas station and an alien souvenir stand.
Yeah, a little alien.
But we did pass when we passed by what would be considered. It was Area 51. We saw the signs, and well, there was a sign. There were people parked that were taking pictures, and they weren't even near the fence.
No.
And these people were. There was a actual government vehicle, a white. We were driving a blue
You know
96 Cherokee, but yeah. So there's something there. So
what kills me? What kills me is that's Whacking Hut Security. So Whacking Hut Security actually works for every government secret site, and yes, they are allowed to kill. They are allowed to snipe. They are allowed to do whatever.
You say
Had
wacky
the same guys out at China
Whacking
Lake.
Hut Security.
Well, yeah, these people were at the bottom of a, like a ravine, or like there was this big hill, and they weren't even anywhere near the fence, and these guys were showing up.
Yeah, and I told them to fuck off.
Too. Yeah, and I don't know if they tricked the trigger somewhere. I would think that'd be opposite, considering how close they were to the highway. I mentioned that to Paula too. I said that doesn't seem very, from what I've heard about Area 51.
Right.
You have to get right up on them. To where they, again, the fence is right there, maybe, but it seems odd that they would have the triggers there, the trip sensors that would let, send somebody out to go investigate and make sure they weren't on property. So,
anyway, so Nikki, I know we keep cutting you off.
Well, what I was going to say is, have anybody thought that if the Men in Black are ET, ET have metamaterial, and I know that firsthand. I've been on it. I've been on. There's Joe.
Yeah, I said something that the government didn't like. I can tell you what it is, but
Whacking Hut.
I've been on.
Yeah, and I said they were at China Lake when I was out there, and boom, I lost connection.
Yeah, they're assholes. Anyway, Nikki.
Assholes.
On metamaterial before. I've laid, like most other ET abductees, metamaterial. It literally forms. It's like it has a consciousness. It literally a new. Now, if
What?
they are
What?
ET, if the Men in Black are ET and the vehicles, I'm just saying, think about this, Joe. If the Men in Black are ET and they have vehicles that look as you described, that have no dirt on them, going down dusty dirt roads, that material will not. That may not be the right. Had the word. I did this on my broadcast today. I cannot think of the proper word, but it's literally metal that is consciousness. It's got a form of consciousness to it.
How about this? They're driving something other than what you're seeing. You're seeing an old, nice, shiny black car.
Yes.
That's not what's there.
Yeah.
There's some people standing in front of you in black suits. Guess what? That's not
my-
what's there. It doesn't have anything to do with the metamaterials.
No,
That's true with your mind.
Materials can do that. There's only Keith and I have had this conversation about only certain races of ET can screw with a human's brain regarding excuse me, what you just talked about.
Right. Okay, what you just said, only certain ones can. Well, don't you think the ones that can screw with our brains would be the ones that would contact us? Wouldn't that make sense?
No, because not based on what I now understand.
Well,
it makes more sense to my brain now that or Keith talk about it. I'm like, that actually jives with certain things that I know, because there's certain races that I have seen that are not able to do that, but there are other races, a lot of races that can. but yet Keith will say publicly that there are races of ET. There are not a lot of races of ET.
So what you're describing, Joe, is like a screen memory. But
yeah. Wouldn't that make more sense than a car that doesn't get dust on it?
Not always. I want to ask though: is this metamaterial? Can you actually be human form with metamaterial?
I have no idea how metamaterial works. I know that a few things. In fact, Art's Parts. We talked about Art Bell earlier. They've looked at it, and it's manufactured at the atomic level. In other words, it'd be like one atom of bismuth, one layer of bismuth, one layer of this, one layer of that, and it's just, we can't. So who knows what that material can do?
Right, but Nikki,
maybe it's like that stuff you put on your windshield that keeps the rain drops from forming on your windshield. Just the dust just falls right off.
What, Rain-X?
Yeah, something like that. It's the space equivalent of Rain-X. So because of what the material is, the dust. Maybe the dust doesn't stick to it because there's no electrostatic charge or something.
Yeah,
who knows?
I was thinking the static thing too. So,
They even talked about the Men in Black getting out of these dustless cars, walking across the dusty desert to talk to somebody, and they look down and notice that their black shoes are perfectly polished with no dust on them.
So
how's that happen?
In that case, like, honestly, wouldn't it be more of a reality if we were to say that instead of them physically being there, that they are projecting themselves as being there?
Nah.
Nope, that is a possibility.
It is,
but that would be the race that messes with your mind, and apparently they don't contact people.
No, that's not.
Well, okay,
I'm just pushing your buttons.
The difference, but the difference in that is that even in the human race, there's the ability to project. Okay? So it wouldn't necessarily be completely altering your mind waves and all of this shit. It would just be projecting the image of. And between person to person, you can project an image and they can see it as that.
But Nikki, the reason I'm asking about the meta stuff being human form is because in the 40s, 50s, 60s, you had Men in Black that had pasty white skin, but it didn't look like it fit their face. It looked like it was a mask, but it wasn't a mask. It was form-fitting. And that's why. And they walked robotic. They didn't walk like they fit the human skin.
Maybe their cloaking abilities weren't that good back then.
Maybe not.
That
implies that they were in a costumes like what we would do, only a full body costume, but were an ET with possibly bent backward legs, possibly trying to reconstruct how the humans walk, and we're not capable of doing it. So, I mean, think of the movie The Arrival.
Yep,
with the backwards knees.
Yeah, with Charlie Sheen.
But they were capable of. I mean, in the movie-esque. This is all hypothetical stuff. But what we're talking about, what you are describing to me, sounds as if it is an ET in a human costume. In a human-shaped costume, and they are trying to literally walk like a human.
Right. And that's the description of what these people are talking about. Now, understand, Men in Black don't come to just your average UFO witness. They come to specific cases that, for whatever reason, they don't want known. They weren't supposed to be seen. They weren't supposed to be witnessed. And I mean, there's only a handful of them.
Wasn't supposed to be witnessed.
So at the same time, though,
you don't think? Okay. Let's look at it this way. Let's say nothing to do with ETs, nothing to do with extraterrestrials. Some people are out camping, and they see something the government's doing, testing a weapon or God knows what, and they shouldn't have seen it, but they did. You're going to have people walk up to them and go, you didn't see what you saw.
No, and those
you call them Men in Black?
And
no, it's just people saying, look, we have a secret. You accidentally saw it.
Right.
Please don't say anything.
And those are the explainable ones. Those are the explainable, obvious ones.
Right.
Right.
Okay,
well,
now...
there you go.
Or they just haven't noticed anything eliminated. So...
I'm not saying they're all that. I'm saying that happens in real life. That happens with crime scenes or, there's a crime scene and somebody witnesses something. They say, look, I know you saw this thing, but we're not going to, this goes back to your murder porn thing from earlier. You witnessed something, you saw something, but don't say anything about the blue Bronco that you saw because we're looking for it. Now, is that a Men in Black? No, that's just somebody saying, look, you didn't see it. Don't tell anybody about it.
And usually they have to
that
sign
thing happens. That's a lot smaller scale. Yeah,
now,
it's just like, be quiet about it. We're trying to solve this crime.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though, is I think there's different levels here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are people that will come and be like the non-discriminate people that go, hey, man, just say you didn't see shit and we're all good. Okay? Then there's that next level up after the person starts talking shit when they weren't supposed to.
And
they go, hey, man, there's a place called Guantanamo and you'll end up there. Right?
Yep.
And then if they keep talking shit, then these other fuckers come in and they're like, hey, man, we will seriously probe your asshole if you continue here.
Right?
Well, see, that depends on who they're talking to.
Right. And I mean...
There's certain people, I know I'm one of them, and possibly Eric, or maybe even Cole, where you tell us to shut the fuck up, or we're going to give them the finger and say, screw you.
I'm going to tell them, bring it.
The worst thing you can do is tell somebody not to say something.
Yep.
Right,
or you're going to hurt them.
Okay, so at the same point, I think it depends on the person that they're talking to as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they believe that there's no actual credible threat.
Well,
okay, if they believe that your word can't get out or that nobody's going to believe you or whatever the fuck
they don't usually bring you up. They say, do you like your wife? In fact, there was one case where the Men in Black had
threatened children and the kids and family.
No, not just that. He said, do you like how your wife looks? And those were his words. Do you like your wife's face? But yeah, they don't threaten you. They actually threaten your kids or your mom and dad or your, someone they know you're close to as far as family goes, friends go, whatnot. They don't threaten you because, what the fuck ever. Bring it, bitch.
Okay, here's the thing about that, though. Back in the good old days, you had to get a hold of a reporter that worked for the L.A. Times, and he had to type it up on his typewriter and then hand it to his editor, and the editor had to go through and look at it, and then it had to go to the presses. Now people just get on their phones and go, look at this shit.
Hey, I'm on Facebook Live.
Bam, it's out. It's worldwide. There's nothing they can do about it now.
Nope. Which
so that shit doesn't work anymore.
All they got to do is hack in your computer and remove it, which has happened before, too. So if we have
porn on it.
If we have an extraterrestrial, off-world style Men in Black, do you think it's an intelligence gathering agency?
Why would they want intelligence on us? That's my big question. There was a report came out from the government that, there might be 160 different alien civilizations visiting our planet.
Yeah, I saw that
Why? Why? What is so interesting about this place? Leave us alone.
I don't think it's
what the hell do they want?
It's not us they want. It's the fucking planet they want.
Okay, I don't believe that for one
second.
There's
a billion planets out there that humans on.
Okay, so that's my problem with the planetary thing. Is
they don't want the planet? See how many rocks there are in space?
So
a lot.
Anyway.
So if they wanted water, let's say,
Right.
okay, there are millions of asteroids out there.
Uh-huh.
There is
Let 'em
planets
take
like
it.
Titan and everything else out there where they can get this fucking water without having to deal with the population. Okay? If they
They can
wanted
do it
gold,
here.
there's
They can land in the
gold
middle
out
of the Pacific
there.
or Lake
Oh, okay.
Tahoe or
Hold
Lake
on.
Michigan somewhere, suck up all the water they want, and leave, and no one would know anything.
Okay.
They don't have to follow people around wearing black fedoras.
So, hold on,
There's the
though.
water.
What Kayla
What?
is saying is they can go to this asteroid for the water, they can go to this planet for the gold, or they could just come to Earth where we have everything.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is not what I'm saying. Okay?
You know what
If
they
are-
want is our
if-
hair.
If they are, oh my
hair.
fucking
Let-
god!
let
Okay,
me-
you know what? Maybe,
They want
just
weight.
maybe, we're like fucking ivory tusks, and they want our skin to wear on their faces.
Calm the fuck down, Edgar. Hold on. Okay. Let's. Let me explain this in a way the average fucking American will understand. There are 6 donuts in the box. Only
Look
one
at
of
the
them.
Canadian explaining to us fucking Americans.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is only one Bavarian cream. The alien wants that fucking Bavarian cream. He's gonna take it.
Well, everybody wants the Bavarian cream. It's
Exactly.
creamy.
That's Earth.
Oh,
Are you not getting it?
Earth is the Bavarian
We're
cream.
the Bavarian cream.
Holy
No,
shit.
no. We're just
And-
another donut in the box.
Or we have an element that they don't have on their world. Maybe
Done.
we have something that they don't have.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we have octopuses.
Or-
No, they
Why,
put the
why aren't they
fucking-
finding that one element instead of screwing around with landing in the middle of a field in Zimbabwe when 125 school children go out? They go, hey, look at that, there's an alien. They wave at them and then they take off. What the hell's that got to
Maybe.
do with
You
some
know,
element?
Maybe the element is the
I was
synapses in our brain.
No, it's DNA.
What?
That's been shown, by the abductions. That's been shown by, cattle mutilations, by fucking human
It's the
abductions.
23rd chromosome, fool.
But shouldn't they have figured that out by now? They're capable of interstellar travel.
It's not a matter of
Well-
figuring it out. It's a matter of what's here on the Earth.
Right. But why are they just
If
limiting?
they want something on Earth, why don't they just take it?
They are.
If they want something with us, they've taken a bunch of us.
Yep.
Why
and
do they have to
are?
sneak around wearing black fedoras and screwing with people and messing with their phones and coming into their houses at night? No, they can just take whatever they want and leave.
And they do. Nikki,
and impact their gypsy.
Yes.
Herd mentality, bro.
you've been sitting there biting at the bit. You keep looking like you want to say something.
Oh, I do, and I'm also frustrated with the laptop. Because it's kind of like biting the dust at the second.
Leave your laptop out of this. Ah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of different things that bother me about all of this. I mean, we really don't know what the hell Men in Black or Black-Eyed Children really are.
Mhm.
It is a major concern. If it is government, it's a bigger concern. Government is, you would hope, human. You don't know if it is government and they're working with the ET, and it's some sort of extreme deep ops. And it's a gigantic concern if it's ET, and it's a specific form of ET that is the reason as extreme of extreme consequences. People have disappeared and it's deeply both subjects are deeply concerning, and what it all boils down to is we just don't freaking know.
Okay.
I mean, so yeah, it's We can speculate, but when the rubber meets the road, we don't fucking know.
Nope.
No,
True.
to answer... I'm
It's
sorry.
concerning. Go ahead.
To answer Joe's question there of why in the hell would they just come down and do this, this, and this, and not just take us all or take whatever the element is that we need or anything like that. Okay, so what if they're a subsector? Okay, so just like we have groups of what we would call terrorists or what we would call hackers or any of this kind of shit. What if they're like Greys, okay, just pulling a random alien race, not saying that they are, but what if they're Greys, but a subsector of Greys that believe in X, Y, and Z versus A, B, and C? Okay? When we think about alien races and we think about all this shit, we automatically go with our own thought processes on what they are. But that doesn't mean that's what they actually are.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they're 100% collective in their thought processes or anything else. We could have subsectors of every race, every ET.
So what you're saying is the aliens showed up and said, there's something here we want, and then they hired subcontractors to go in and get it, and they hired the lowest bidder.
Exactly.
No.
And those are the guys that get seen.
Yes, so why wouldn't it be like when we hire, okay, like the United States, let's say, hires a subcontractor to go into, let's say, Afghanistan to get X, Y, and Z done. Now they take the lowest bidder. Okay, so you are the lowest bidder. We're going to send you over here to do this. Now, if they fuck it up royally, they can specifically say...
And they have, because we know they're here.
Yeah, they can specifically say, hey, man, that wasn't us.
No,
okay?
let's
not getting paid.
Let's take this another step. Because
what if it breaks, like, their Geneva Convention?
We've talked... Well, okay, then that brings into the consortium. We've talked about the consortium on the show before. And that's the collective or the council of alien races that kind of governs what other races are doing.
The Council of 12.
It used to be called that. And it kind of still is, depending on who you're talking to. The consortium's the same thing. So, if you have the consortium, and they know that this race is doing this, and that race is doing that, and this race gets discovered by, say, Witness A, they send in their little security team, i.e. the Men in Black, to handle it. Shut them up.
And then they have plausible deniability.
Right.
Just because we look at it as, oh, they're so much further advanced, oh, they're so much this or that or everything else. Just because they have interstellar, and I've said this 1.5 million times, just because a race has interstellar technology does not necessarily mean that they are an advanced species. Okay?
True.
Because of the fact that...
That'd just be like a nuclear aircraft carrier pulling into a port, and you let a bunch of sailors off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now, those guys don't know how to build a nuclear aircraft carrier, but they're going to screw up a town.
Right, and not only that, but I look at it this way, and I think about it this way. When I think about alien species, I think about the fact that the reason that we haven't traveled further into space, the reason that we haven't gotten out of this or that or everything else, is our atmosphere itself. We need so much push to get out of our atmosphere and into the stratosphere. Mm-hmm. Okay? So what happens if these aliens grew up on a planet where there was a less density of stratosphere? Okay? Then they are going to be able to enter that with half the technology that we would need to enter that.
Right.
Okay? So in that case, they could still be 1,000 years less advanced than we are, but still doing interstellar travel. It does not mean that somebody is smarter just because they got somewhere first. I mean, fucking Columbus can tell you that.
No, he can't. He still thinks he's smarter.
Well, he's
Yeah,
dead,
yeah.
so I mean,
And
he's
you will.
not saying shit.
Wait, he's dead.
Well, he did manage to get somewhere. It should be established that he did manage to find something somewhere.
Right,
Just
but,
was looking.
but you see
So-
what I'm saying is that anybody can send a ship out and see what ends up happening. Okay?
Yeah.
It
They're not
doesn't mean that they
necessarily-
are an advanced species because of that. It doesn't mean that they are any less warlike than we are. It doesn't mean that they are any less civilized than we are. It just means that they got from point A to point B faster because of circumstances.
Yeah.
But they also landed in a place where you're dealing. It might as well have been aliens landing to us.
Right.
With natives in Hispaniola and all along the Gulf Coast and into Mexico, they must have just been terrified. All of a sudden, these white people just show up out of nowhere, and it's like to them it was gods. So
Now, that's the thing, though, is that, okay, so let's say that this particular alien race had such low fucking atmosphere on their planet that they were pretty much breathing in space to start with. Okay? So all they would need to do in order to get from point A to point B would be build a ship like we do to sail on the seas and take off.
But those people wouldn't necessarily be able to. They would have done it if they could.
Well,
So,
what's to say they
if-
didn't?
But we know that they didn't. We know.
How do we know that
Yeah.
they didn't?
Well, because we have no. Well, that's true. Just because we haven't found it yet doesn't mean it doesn't. It signed the Vikings. It took us years to find out that they actually had landed here and earlier.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Exactly.
so yeah.
So see, if they had no atmosphere on their planet and they were already used to breathing in space, okay, because that's how they were raised, that's how they grew up, then getting to our planet would be like us sailing over the Pacific. It
Right.
wouldn't be that big of a feat. It would be at the time, yes. But it doesn't mean that they're more technologically advanced just because they could get here.
True.
So when everybody says, well, those aliens are so technologically advanced that they could get there and they could wipe us out with one button, that's not necessarily true. It depends on what planet they came from,
Depends on
what
what race
the
it is.
atmosphere, what the density, what everything was to lead them here.
And whether or not whatever they had weapon-wise would be, if they had developed the scientific side of everything. they
No,
did-
not necessarily. They may have developed a way to travel, but maybe they didn't have warfare on their planet like we
That's
have.
what-
Right.
exactly,
So
that's where I was
once,
going.
yeah,
Their,
exactly.
their
So once
greatest
they
weapon
get here,
may be a nail in a fucking 2x4.
right.
Right.
So
It's
once
all
they
their-
get here, even if they were able to travel here, does not mean that they wouldn't die via either disease, famine, plague, or because our weaponry is actually more advanced than theirs.
Yeah.
So personally, I like the zoo hypothesis, and that's where the whole planet is basically a lab or a zoo.
We're lab monkeys.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
lab monkeys. We got chupacabra. We got strange creatures.
And they just
that
pick us up every once in a while to check us out
check our DNA.
and go, whoa, those monkeys
Well,
populated
no,
way
but-
more than
so
we
how-
thought they
So
would.
there's been a lot of abductions where they went out, and they're a common abductee. So they're one of the ones they pick up all the time.
Right.
They go out and get a tattoo, and all of a sudden they're taken up. Oh
So
my God!
this
What's this
leads-
colored ink on your skin?
So basically what you're saying is like the ant farm hypothesis.
Mhm.
That we're
Could be the same
all
thing.
ants in an ant farm, and they
For
pick
some
us out
ra-
every
for
once
some
in a
races,
while
it might
just
be
to
the
see
case.
how we're evolving
Right.
and what we're doing.
Right. I mean, there's a whole lot of theories out there. The zoo hypothesis is actually one of them. I kind of like.
See, and I sit here and I get pissed I get seriously angry sometimes when people say that all of human technology and innovation
Came from
ETs, or all of this came from... No, I'm sorry, but there are smart fucking humans out there. There are
absolutely.
people that are capable of things that we don't even know is even possible. I mean, you look at the Einsteins and the Teslas and all of these of the world, and you cannot put that on a different race.
But
they
really,
were their own person with their own ideas.
What if Einstein was an ET? What if Tesla was an ET? What if Leonardo da Vinci was an ET?
Kayla, there would not be a TV show that is apparently... Pawn Stars is dead now, right? So History Channel relies solely on ancient aliens.
Right.
This just to do that, because there is nothing else. They don't do history anymore. So
again, I think what pissed me off, being pagan, is the fact that they're, and I've said this before, but Odin, his ravens were actually alien drones, and they went out and spied and told Odin. Are you fucking serious?
See, and that's the part about that makes me angry, is when they talk about all of human existence and all of human technology and all of human innovation being some other species' thought process.
Yep.
Okay? Because there are smart motherfuckers on our planet, too.
Okay, going on Kayla's theory here.
Right.
Maybe these civilizations that are thousands of years old, and they've pretty much hit a wall. They're not inventing anything new. They're not innovating. What is one thing that humans are good at? Inventing shit. Inventing shit, making things better, changing things. Maybe they're freaking out about that because we're the most inventive people on the galaxy.
The fucking galaxy.
And they're just sitting around going, holy crap, you see what that human did there in Germany the other day? Let's go get that guy.
So
right, and that's what I'm saying. What if
they're here to steal our technology?
What if
on bastards?
Exactly. So what if on their planet, the furthest that they ever got was inventing fire because that cooked everything and that was fine. Okay?
Right.
Well, obviously they invented spaceships.
Right, but I mean, it served its purpose. It did what it was supposed to do. There's no reason to invent anything other than...
No, now they want to shoot fire. Not just invent it, but shoot it out of a gun.
They do not have our ability to adapt and evolve and invent things. It's that simple.
So they want to take us and figure out why in the fuck we keep inventing, even though we have already gotten to the point where something works.
No, so let's take that a different direction too. What if they can't figure something out, so they actually take that plan and implant it in Einstein's brain? Einstein goes, whoa, where did that thought come from? And he builds on that. And voila.
No, I'm not saying
Are you trying to say Einstein has implants?
Oh my god.
Or the aliens take something that they have that's broken, they can't fix it, and they give it to a tweaker in Alabama, and a guy, with some duct tape and a bunch of mess, the guy figures out how to make it work.
Right? And that's what I'm saying. Humans are fucking MacGyvers.
Yep. What did
ETs in spirit form. That's one. The other thing I was going to say, so yeah, it can. I've got two, but they're in spirit form that can do just that. Talking to human, giving ideas, making suggestions, blah blah blah. It can even be spirit guides. The other I had it now.
Yeah, right.
I've invented two things while you said that.
Yep.
Toothpicks? Because they're small pointy sticks.
ETs. Oh, the ETs that abduct me. There's a specific that is trying to and put human emotions back in the gene pool, so to speak. I don't know how the hell they're doing it. I just know that they're doing it. It came as a hell of a shock to me when I was told what it was that they were doing. That's just one of the many things this race is doing. But they have lost emotions. They literally were taking I don't know how they were doing it. They were literally taking emotions out of their equations.
Right.
And
Well, that's easy enough to do that with hypnosis. So
their babies were being born, just sheer logic, no emotions whatsoever, and they found that they had to start recreating that with hybrids.
Fucking Vulcans.
Many of them. I've got a 14 hybrid. She's drop dead gorgeous too. But that's beside the point. And the emotion. She was.
No.
I know with many abductees it's been shown they don't understand fear and they don't understand pain.
No, it's been said in all of our holy books and everything else from the beginning of fucking time that what sets us apart, what makes us different, what we're striving for is the emotion and the love. Okay? So if humans are the only species that is capable, and I'm not saying the only one out there, but the only one within reach that is capable of a completely different emotion than they are ever capable of. So we're capable of love, and they don't understand what the fuck that is. Then doesn't that, in fact, make us actually stronger as a species than they are?
Well, I'd explain why we're being visited by so many races.
Right, so wouldn't they say, hey, let's pick up one or two of these fuckers and figure out what the hell this is? Because you also get the abductees that are married couples. And you get that several times throughout history.
Well, they pick family lines.
They pick family lines because there is strong bonds and love there. They pick emotional lines. And they pick fucking couples.
And we know they watch Jerry Falwell.
And if you look at the fact that they also picked Betty and Barney Hill, they looked at it as this is a completely interracial couple in this time period, but there's something that keeps them together no matter what it is. So why? Maybe the only reason that they're picking us up is because we do have emotions versus what they have.
Considering that the aliens have been here, according to history, forever, doesn't that kind of prove the hypothesis that the aliens are a bunch of dumbasses and they're really slow learners?
That depends on the race you're talking about.
If they haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, but
we only get one lifetime, 40, 50, 70 years, whatever. They've been here for thousands of years and they're still scratching their heads going, I don't get it.
Yeah, but look at emotion. Do we even understand it? Do we understand where it comes from or why it exists? So why would they?
I'm single. No.
No, but I mean, like, no matter what you are, whether you're single or whether you're in love or whether you're married or whether you're whatever, you still have complex emotions. Now, if you're from a race that has zero emotion, wouldn't you, it would take you thousands and thousands of years to figure out why this person gave up their life for this person when
6 months tops.
they had no connection. Yeah, but you're thinking from a human's point of view.
But I don't think there's any kind of race or species of anything in the universe that could do interstellar travel and not have a soul or some kind of...
Yeah.
The logic doesn't work.
How do you put interstellar travel with a soul?
Because you have to have the ability to. You have to want to know, learn. You have to knowledge.
They have to wonder what's out there.
Exactly.
Now,
Emotion of wonder.
Emotion is
That's an emotion.
Now, I'm just going to put this out there, but what if logically your planet was dying, therefore you needed to leave? Okay? So logically you would
That's
build...
a whole other can of beans.
You would build
have to have
an access point to leave.
You know what? Apparently they've come here so they have the ability to leave.
Yeah,
Go find another planet.
And they have.
Why here?
They have found other planets. That's the point.
I think that's
We have
the ETs.
Right?
Anyway, we got 5 minutes left in the show, folks. What are we talking about next week?
How about those damn black-eyed children?
Yeah.
Alien habits.
Alien habits.
Alien habits?
So we're going to talk about like crop circles, cattle mutilations.
Alien hobbits?
Yeah, alien hobbits. There we go.
Those hairy feet bastards! Oh, sorry.
Plain rich.
You can find them on footfinder.com.
Some of the outside ties that kind of connect that have been linked up with the alien visitation.
Bad habits lead to late nights. Oh, sorry.
And what about them
You maybe
reapers?
talk about the reapers.
Yeah, the reapers.
Don't fear the reaper.
Cole? What about them reapers?
Right. So yeah, if we
Circles and what else?
Cattle mutilation, so animal mutilations, crop circles, alien abductions, and all the ties within. So not crop circles, actually chemtrails have actually been linked in some theories to aliens as well. So all the ties to aliens outside of UFOs, UAPs.
Oh, I hadn't heard the chemtrails. Yeah, I hadn't heard the chemtrails tied to the aliens before.
Yep.
That's new.
Some
I'd heard a
them
lot
are.
of
Some
art
of them
building.
are.
Okay.
So reapers.
So yeah, we recently took on a new sponsor, Reaper Apparel Co. If you guys could, we would appreciate your support by clicking on a link that is in our Discord, in our Facebook, in our Twitter, and our Instagram. I posted them all again tonight.
And the website.
Yeah, and the website.
S-4radio.com, folks.
And then you click on the link on those pages, and when doing your checkout, you type in the coupon code S4 Bunker, and you get 10% off your entire order. So we just actually, me and Kayla, I ordered her a hoodie, and it came in the mail yesterday. We actually buy a lot of hoodies, and I would compare it to one of my Carhartts.
Oh,
it is that good of material.
It's a nice hoodie.
Really?
Yeah, and the design on it is actually well made. It's not going to come off after a few washes. It's actually going to last quite a long time.
No, it is really nice. It's my new favorite hoodie.
So check it out,
and we
folks.
didn't even talk about the Reaper drone that was shot down.
Yeah.
Shut down?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Droney drone.
Well, it was sort of forced down.
Okay, well, we can bring up Force Down Reaper drone next time.
Yep.
On S4
Yep.
Reapers rule!
Make sure you check out Reaper Apparel, LLC.com.
Absolutely. And type in promo code S4 Radio.
Excellent.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done.
Dun, 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 dun.
Everybody say goodnight, everybody.
Good
night, everybody.
We'll see
Good
you
night,
next
everybody.
week.
Bye, Mickey.
With crop circles, cattle mutilations, well, animal mutilations in general, and all kinds of fun stuff. Good night.
All right, good night, everyone.
Bye, Rick.
Data transfer complete. System malfunction. Please evacuate immediately. Program terminated.
Son of a biscuit eater.